Debate is a formal discussion between sides with different views. Person speaks for or against a topic before making a decision. Debates are a means of encouragement to develop critical thinking, personal expression, tolerance of others' opinions. So, today we have a group of brilliant shining stars who will compete in the competition and share their views about the given topic. Before calling the participants, let me introduce you to the panel of judges. Ms. Richa Upamanyu Sharma, lecturer in English, Maharana Pratap College, Rawatbhata. Welcome, ma'am. Ms. Prekshalata Chaturvedi, manager, HR. Welcome, ma'am. Ms. Farah Siddiqui, SOF 1 and 2. Welcome, ma'am. Our discussion moderator for the day, Ms. V. Amulya. Welcome, ma'am. Our timer, Ms. Sangeeta, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Initially, before we start up, let me brief you with the rules. The debate will be held for two groups, junior and senior group. Junior group consisting of students of 9th and 10th, and senior group consisting of students of 11th and 12th class. Each team will contest with two participants, and each school will send one team under each category. Each team will speak either in favor of the motion or against the motion. Each speaker will be allowed to present his or her views for 3 minutes only. Please note down this point again. Each speaker will be allowed to speak his or her views for 3 minutes only. Penalty will be imposed for crossing the time limit. The rebuttal session will start immediately after the presentation round. Each team will be allowed to ask 2 questions to the team of their choice. Time limit will be 1 minute to answer the question. I repeat, time limit will be 1 minute to answer the question. The decision given by the judges will be the final one. In case of tie, the judge may ask some additional questions to select the final team. The following areas will be assisted by the team of judges: content, debating skills, presentation skills, counter arguments. I repeat, content, debating skills, presentation skills, and counter argument. These were the rules and regulations. Now we start with the senior group. Today's debate, we start with the senior group of students. Competing for this competition are our participants from Kakrapara, Aecs 3 Rawatbhata, Indore, Aecs 4 Rawatbhata, and Narora. I welcome all the participants. Our first participant, Master Aradhya Prakash of Kakrapara. Yes, madam. All the participants, please, as I call out your name, please come on to the dais. Mehek Chabra. Kakrapara. Yes, Kakrapara team, Aradhya Prakash, Dhruvi Thakur, Mehek Chabra, Aecs 3, Krishika Sharma, Aecs 3 Rawatbhata, Prasansha Kumari, Indore, Kwahish Verma, Indore, Jigyasa, Rawatbhata 2, Rawatbhata 4, Aecs 4 Rawatbhata, Mohammad Arful, Rawatbhata 4, Sheetal Bharadwaj, Narora, Prajal Singh, Narora. This is the senior group. Over to Amulya ma'am.
Thank you, Mrs. Rebecca.
Yes.
We're all set for this exciting debate that's going to unfold in front of you within a few moments. I'm sure all the participants from various schools are thoroughly prepared. You must have had rounds of preparation, right? So we have all the senior participants on the days. Before we move on, we could find a few printed sheets of paper on your desks. Could you kindly hand them down to us so that you are left with only blank papers? Please ensure that you're not carrying any printed papers along with you. Only blank papers. Well, as Mrs. Rebecca starts collecting those papers, let us proceed with the debate. I'd like to speak out, spell out the topic once again. The topic for the seniors is co-curricular activities at school help in overall development of students. Each team will be given 3 minutes as it was informed earlier, and you all know it very well, at the end of which a bell will be sounded and you will have to wind up your speech. So I'm sure you've all come prepared. The moment you start exceeding the 3-minute slot, you will be marked negatively, right? So that is one thing. The second one, now I'm sure you don't have any more papers left. And you can see 2 podiums, lecterns lined up in front of you. One, this is for the motion. The speakers on my left will use the brown podium, and the one on my right will use the right lectern. So we begin with the team from FOB. I'd like to inform the audience gathered over here that using a draw of lots, yesterday the teams had already picked up their respective motions, whether they are going to speak for the motion or against the motion. And therefore, they got enough time to prepare, add a little more ammunition to their armory and come prepared with this. And as I hope, it's going to be a really interesting one. So let's start with, for the topic, the school from Kakripar, and the first speaker is Aradhya Prakash from Aecs Kakripar. Switch the mic on, please.
Yeah. A very warm good morning to all of you. I would like to speak in favor of the topic co-curricular activities at school help in overall development of students. Co-curricular activities are those activities that are undertaken along with the academic curriculum. Typically, these activities are carried outside the normal classes. These activities supplement the academic curriculum and help in learning by doing. These activities help students to develop critical thinking, creative thinking, collaborative, communication, and problem-solving abilities. When the theoretical curriculum and co-curricular activities are integrated with each other, at that time, your chances of learning more, exploring your strengths and abilities becomes higher. It helps students to manage their time. It teaches them to be more social and have social relationships. It inculcates values such as harmony, decisiveness, integrity, honesty, respect for others, ethics, etc. It also helps them to polish their leadership skills. It teaches them to work as a team. It builds up their self-confidence and higher self-esteem. As students face a lot of ups and downs in their studies, it also helps them to stay motivated and perform better in their academics throughout. Being good at a particular co-curricular activity opens up your chances of getting into a good university, making career in that particular field, or getting good scholarships. There is no doubt that CC is the source for us to recognize our strengths and work accordingly. So it is important for all of us to come out of our comfort zone, to come out of the four-wall traditional classroom and participate more and more in these co-curricular activities with a deep interest to gain a lot of experience, and that is going to benefit us a lot in our future. My worthy opponents say and will say that co-curricular activities do not help in overall development of students. let me tell them that this debate itself is a part of CCA. So this clearly shows that they will be misguiding all of us with their meaningless arguments. Furthermore, I would like to ask them one question, that why have they come here to participate in this debate competition? It is just only for personality and overall development. At last, I would like to summarize my point of view that the co-curricular activities create a sense of belongingness as well as higher self-esteem in students after participating in structured activities like CCA, sports, arts, music, dance, etc. It also keeps students motivated and students get inspired more and more to perform better in their studies, academics, etc. In addition to this, it keeps students healthier, happier, and involved. The researchers have clearly proven that co-curricular activities are very important for students, and at last, they're included in the school curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you, Aradhya. The next speaker, speaking for the motion from Aecs Aradhya, is Dhruvi Thakkar.
Studies are important, but not everything. Jai Hind. A very warm and cozy morning to one and all. Respected everyone present here. I am here to present my strong views and opinions in favor of the motion, co-curricular activities help in overall development. So going back to the roots, I would like to ask all of you a simple question. Imagine yourself as a nursery kid right now, and all you are given is just a pen and paper. No rhymes to be sung out aloud with actions. No colorful handprints that made you smile. No building blocks to learn numbers, just a pen and paper, and all you can do is write them as many times as many you want to. You can mug it up, you can inculcate it into your system like you did it right now, but is it a good childhood experience? I bet not. Our learning process itself starts with co-curricular activities. CCA helps us to bring out creative skills, cognitive skills, problem-solving skills, socializing skills, public speaking skills. It acts like a stress buster. It helps us appreciate the aesthetics. And we come to discover so many things, so many activities in the domain of CCA. We find our interests, our hobbies. And who knows, CCA will introduce us to the great future musicians or writers or artisans or actors of the era. I would like to ask my opponents a question. I strongly believe you people are strong, confident speakers, but do you think would you ever have been able to gain that confidence without ever having participated in the CCA competitions held at your school? I don't think so. I would like to ask another question. One of the CCA is sports. Would you ever have been able to know the importance of team spirit, of sportsmanship, of handling the pressure at that moment, of getting up every day, doing physical exercises to stay in shape, of practicing the techniques without ever having stepping on the ground? My dear friends, creative skills are as much as important as much as STEM subjects and logical subjects are. And CCA promotes creativity. And creativity is seeing what everyone sees and thinking what no one ever thought. That's all. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Dhruvi. You had 30 seconds left. We move on to the next speaker, and this time it will be School Aecs 3, Rawatbhata. The team will be speaking against the motion. I call upon Mehak Chhabra of Class 12B to step forward. Switch it on, please.
A very warm good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to stress the wrong way of conducting CC activities by schools, which results in a hotspots kind of students or school life rather than overall development. Myself, Mehak Chhabra, and today I stand here to express my views against the motion. When my mother is very tired and has a lot of work to do, she prepares khichdi as food. The same is done by our teachers regarding CC activities because they are so busy with a lot of work that they don't have enough time to think and conduct CC in the proper manner. And at the end, what we get is the khichdi in the name of overall development. You have Hindi Pakwara, class test, homework, NCC, NTSC, sports, all this at the same time. Besides this, you have assembly activity every day, practical submission for every subject, and MCQ exam. All these activities happen in a month where 4 CC activities are also conducted. Now tell me, when we have these many activities at once, what will happen to the mind of a child? Neither teacher nor the student is able to give proper preparation time for any of these activities. And when there is less time, no preparation, how can we expect to have overall development? In such situations, the participation in CCA is not governed by overall development. It is just participation. Winning by hook or crook and conducting it in any fashion by teachers to just tick the box. There is no chance the development of soft skills, empathy or sympathy will take place in such situations. Another reason is most of the time for these CC competitions, the preparation is done on the part of parents. In science exhibitions, essay writing competitions, or education competitions, parents give them ready-made material. In debate competitions, what do? They just memorize and reproduce in the school. When parents are helping them most of the time in completing their CC activities and they are just reproducing it in the school, how can my opponent dare to say that such competitions help in overall development? What do you understand by overall development? Is it only a mark sheet of an exam where you have scored on the basis of what you have memorized? Overall development is a psychological process. It requires time, effort, proper planning, and sublime intention. And here, there is no time for research, thinking, or analysis. It's like the bride and the bridegroom are missing, and we are ordering the food, booking the hall, and inviting the guest. The intentions of CCN may be good, but the method and the modality followed by skilled teachers because of many reasons are inappropriate. And I don't feel apologetic when I say this because even the surgery performed by a skilled surgeon to save the life of a patient will kill him if done using wrong method. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehak. I call upon the next participant from Aecs 3 Rawatbhata, Krishika Sharma, to please express her views against the topic.
Good morning, everyone. Myself Krishika Sharma, and I am speaking against the motion. Better to get hurt by the truth than be comforted with a lie. And the biggest lie we are confronting today is the statement that co-curricular activities at school help in overall development. Dogs bark, stars shine. These statements are universal truth as they are commonly observable phenomena found everywhere. But the statement is stated in the same manner, in the same tense, does not convey the universal truth because CC activities help in overall development is not commonly found everywhere. In my school, 12 competitions were held as a part of CC activities and 253 students participated in different activities. Out of these, around 200 students secured different positions. If we applied the scale of overall development and measure the students' overall development, we will find only 2 to 3 students who can be said to have overall development. So how can we support the general statement when it is not applicable to all? Another thing, 85% of our schools are in rural and tribal areas where CC activities are not practiced at all. And I am not saying this, but the survey conducted by Pratham in 2020. Though no CC activities are conducted in those 85% of schools, don't we see there the overall development of a child? Yes, it is. There are many personalities from such schools where CC activities are not conducted, but yet they have overall development and become world leaders. What factors affect overall development in reality then? Heredity is the most crucial factor of overall development. The rest is done by the environment the child lives in. The environment includes family, friends, school, and society. And school itself has many factors such as discipline, teaching faculty, and curriculum of the school that decides the overall development of a student. Here too, I believe the most important part of school life responsible for overall development is the personality of the teacher. Bandura propagated the theory of social learning, in which he talks about delayed imitation. So even though students don't participate in CC activities, they will have overall development if their teachers are having multifaceted personalities. Conversely, if their teacher's personality is not multifaceted, though they participate in CC activities, there are very few chances of overall development. So in the end, I would like to appeal to all my opponents who believe CC activities help in overall development not to fall prey for such statements. Otherwise, you will have nothing but disappointment rather than overall development. So it is better to get hurt by the truth than be comforted with a lie. And the truth is, CCAs don't help in overall development at school. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Krishika. Lock, stock and barrel. Right, we move on to the next team. This is Team Indoor and they're going to speak for the motion. I call upon Prashansa Kumari of 12th B to step forward and begin her presentation.
A very vibrant morning to all the listeners. I am Prashansa Kumari, representing Aecs Indore, speaking for the motion of the today's topic. CC activities are meant to build inherent interest in people, in students, and we are not here for making robots or something. School is not a factory of robots. We are human beings, and we ought to learn everything. Overall development. Do you think like literally it can be achieved just by academics? I don't feel so. I feel proud to be here at Rawatbhata, and I must mention the name of a famous singer who used to study at the school. Yes, you all guessed it right, Shreya Ghoshal. And many of the teachers have taught her and mentioned her name in front of me many times. She used to be a great at studies as well, but she managed her studies along with her music ability, and that's how she built a successful life. She is now a successful singer. Who is going to ask her grades or something? Like literally, just grades no matter. I don't believe that. I am damn opposition for what teachers and singers say that CCA is just a mere waste of time. It's not. It is actually worth time. It worth our time. It makes us discover ourselves. Come on, man. You just didn't land on this earth for nothing. Be a trendsetter and not a trend follower. Open your eyes, man. You are in this world where you have to face competition. And you ought to be a trendsetter and not a trend follower. Don't you feel like just following the same routine like everyone does is just a mere waste of time? Do you feel like you just are into those commoners? I believe that I'm the best among these and I have a great mind and I can pursue everything with the time management on my hand. Time managing should be ought to be to every teachers and every student like managing yourselves, and that would actually fetch you great results in being a doctor or something. Well, you might not be knowing any name of such doctor who is practicing at Aecs or any engineering in IIT, but you ought to know Shreya Ghoshal, isn't it? I think we all know her. And you might set an example in the future as well. You know, the world needs to know your talent, the talent which is hidden within you. So you must never never stop yourself discovering. And just remember a thing. Would you be ever able to see yourself in the mirror and speak like you left nothing undiscovered in yourself? You have discovered yourself entirely. You have developed your mind, your brain like anything, and you can do anything. Trust me, guys, you truly can do anything, and nothing in this world is impossible. Just jotting on those points and notes in the class of science or something, isn't that boring or monotonous? Like seriously? Just telling it down. Think about it. This was Aecs Indore. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashansa. Well, we'd appreciate if the students refrain from using unparliamentary language, right? Let's move on to the next speaker speaking for the motion. And this is Ms. Khwaish Verma from Aecs Indore.
A very marvelous morning to one and all present here.
This is Khwahish Verma representing Aecs Indore, and I'm here to speak in favor of the motion that co-curricular activities at school help in overall development of students. Some people believe that co-curricular activities are merely a waste of time, but they do make a significant contribution to the educational environment. They are equally as important as academics are for children, and co-curricular activities can teach you what academics can never. While studying helps in gaining knowledge, co-curricular activities help in the overall development and enhancement of the child's personality. To name a few, the benefits of co-curricular activities are: they give us social opportunities. Now we all have come here from different places to talk, learn, and gain knowledge from each other. Isn't this growing together? Are co-curricular activities playing no role in making us a better human? Are they playing no role in enhancing our skills? We all know the answer. Another benefit is that they help in the personal growth and development of the personality of the child. They teach them how to work in groups, share ideas, and make friends with people having similar interests. To add one more point, co-curricular activities are also helping students gain scholarships, as universities and colleges prefer those students who are good at CCA or at least take part in co-curricular activities. Co-curricular activities hence play a major role in life of students. Another major point I would like to point is that co-curricular activities are helping students in their overall personality development. Also, such students are less likely to get engaged in drug usage or other criminal activities, as stated by the Northeastern University in Boston. Now, we all know that co-curricular activities are not just a waste of time. Co-curricular activities also help to improve the academic performance of children. They help in developing the functioning of the brain. They help students work better, think better, and learn better. Thus, such students perform better in academics. They could also be a turning point in a student's life. A child might not be able to perform well in academics, but could be a superb musician, singer, dancer, poet, writer instead. Who knows? Co-curricular activities thus play a major role in life of students, and hence I would like to tell all my worthy opponents that co-curricular activities are the basis of life, and students ought to learn this. Not just following academics will lead you to anywhere. When you go for applying a job, they always call you for interview. Which company gives you a job without an interview? What do they see in interviews? They see your personality, and co-curricular activities help in developing your personality, developing your speaking skills, your public speaking skills. And thus, I would like to say that co-curricular activities play a major role in the personality development of children, and hence shape young children into comprehensive and responsible adults. Thank you.
Thank you, Khwahish. Thank you, Khwahish. The next speaker is Jigyasa from Aecs 4 Rawatbhata. She'll be speaking against the motion.
Since the dawn of learning, the idea of education has consistently prevailed to its idea of inculcating the educational and non-educational like academic attributes in students. Respected judges, the jury members, learned teachers, and all my dear friends present here. I am Jigyasa of class 12th B from Aecs number 4 Rawatbhata, and I am standing before you to present my views in oppose of the topic that CCAs or co-curricular activities are important for the overall development of a child's personality. Co-curricular activities, or CCAs, as the name suggests, are activities conducted along with the curricular ones. These activities, the idea of these activities is to inculcate many attributes in the student. But the question I would like to ask to my worthy opponents is that, do CCAs really help in inculcating these ideas in the students and developing an ideal personality? The answer is no. Sometimes these activities can be a real threat to a child's ambition to become something because they provide unnecessary pressure on the students. Let's take an example from a few days ago in my school. We had a games event organized in our school, and many students actually took leave from their tuitions and schools to attend that program. They put that program ahead of their studies, and that is not right, I guess, because it's the time for our exams and we need to focus more on our studies. This way, the CCAs actually provide more pressure on students to overlook their studies. Sometimes the students are not mature enough to distinguish and to choose between the glamorous life of CCA and the rocky life of hard work that they actually need to succeed in their life. Another very important thing is that some parents, they cannot afford the expenses that come with co-curricular activities. This can lead to generation of inferiority complex in the students as they cannot take part in those activities because of the financial pressures that are on their parents. Also, these activities provide unnecessary pressure on the students for giving up their time in the preparation of these events when they can be actually when they should be actually giving that time to their studies. Also, the soft skills that the CCAs promise to inculcate in a student can be acquired from the outside. However, education, which is the primary and the most important thing a school should give to the students, cannot be acquired from outside. Therefore, I would like to wholeheartedly reject the notion that CCAs are important for the overall development of a child. Thank you.
Thank you, Jigyasa. Our next speaker is Mohammad Ariful Haq from Aecs for Rawatbhata. He'll be speaking against the motion.
Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, later known as Gandhiji, the father of our nation, was one of the most successful orators and crowd pullers of the century. Yet, on the first day as a barrister in London, he was found shell-shocked and dumbfounded to the utter disappointment of himself and others present in the room. Later on, as we all know, Gandhiji became a naked fakir with a lathi in his hand and leading 30 crore Indians to freedom. He had magic in his words indeed. Respected members of jury, esteemed teachers, my worthy opponents, and the lovely audience present here, a very warm welcome to one and all. I am Mohammad Ariful Haq of class 12B from Aecs for Rawatbhata, and I am here to strongly oppose today's motion that co-curricular activities are essential for the acquisition of an overall personality development. As stated earlier, Gandhiji didn't learn public speaking in school as CCA. Granted that he failed on the first day as a barrister in London, but mind you, it did not deter him and he went on to win many other cases later on. So what I am trying to submit to my worthy opponents is that what we need in educational institutions is academic excellence, sound technical knowledge, and applications of the skills. Just sit back and think for a minute that will the traits acquired by CCA helpful in giving us a livelihood in future, or will the academic knowledge and will the technical skills be helpful for us in cracking our interviews in the future? I know that my opponents would disagree, but listen to my next argument. Can't soft skills and life skills be acquired hand-on? Is not necessity the mother of invention? When one finds himself in the thick of things, he would develop navigation skills such as compromise and acceptance, team spirit, characterization and appreciation, and definitely a lot of leadership qualities. In addition, ponder over what I am saying next. Won't my family, my parents, my teachers, and the society in which I live help me in acquiring the traits which I would gather via CCA? I fail to understand why only I need to acquire these traits through CCA. I would have rather put that essential amount of time in my studies, which would later help me in cracking my interviews and my competitive exams in future. Hence, in conclusion, I would like to reiterate that it is very unnecessary to think that CCA is essential for an overall personality development. Thank you and have a great day ahead.
Thank you, Ariful Haq. The next speaker coming forward will be Sheetal Bharadwaj of Aecs Narora. She'll be presenting her speech for the motion.
Welcome to Yesterday's Tomorrow, everyone. Myself, Sheetal Bharadwaj, representing Atomic Energy Center School, Noida from Uttar Pradesh. Today, I'm standing here in front of you all to share my views in favor of the topic curricular activities at school help in overall development. Well, we all here must be aware of the very famous quote, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, isn't it? Well, so following this quote only, I strongly do believe that for the overall development of a student, not only he or she should excel in studies, but should be involved in many other activities as well. I'm not saying you to be a perfect dancer or an excellent singer. For example, if I talk about myself, I'm not even a one among them, not an excellent dancer or superb singer. In spite that I'm standing here in front of you all, just because of the confidence which I have to speak in public, the hesitation which has been removed from me, and the communication skills I owe to. Well, it's gonna be strange to hear to my opponents, but let me tell them that the debate competition which we all are following here is a sort of curricular activity in itself. And this question has been has been asked by someone else before me as well, but it has not been answered by any of the opponent. And the participation in curricular activities would always allow students to stand firmly in various fields, because participation in curricular activities would always make sure that you lead interactions with people, meet like-minded people, and break down all your social barriers. Being confined in four walls only won't lead you to any growth, won't give you any sort of success. Sometimes what we all need is just a bit more experience rather than sitting in a classroom and jotting down all the notes. And this is what curricular activities provides us. They provide us a breather. As we all know, it is good for students to focus on the academics, but sometimes it may result in stress and boredom. Hence, there could be nothing way better rather than to engage them in curricular activities, which give them a much refreshing time and retain the ability to gain knowledge. Secondly, it enhances the social skills of students. As we all know that today's younger generation are being the most unsociable creatures over this planet. And this is what curricular activities helps us in, breaking down the social barriers. It always makes sure that you meet like-minded people, break down your social barriers, and know the importance of teamwork. Thirdly, it not only boosts your self-confidence, but also brings out the hidden talent of the student and also emphasizes on its thinking skill. Even the students who outperforms in non-academic fields also get scholarships and way better chances to secure seats in universities. At last, I just want to conclude by saying that for raising up the children who are well-rounded individuals and self-learners, it is important that we empower an environment where they are not only focused their academic growth, but also
Wind
their
up your
overall
speech.
development. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheetal. We move on to the last participant of this day who's going to present her speech. That is Pranjal Singh from Aecs Narora. She'll be speaking for the motion. Pranjal.
Good morning to one and all. I am here to speak for the motion of the topic that CC activities at school help in overall development of a child. As we know, school is a place where we are given the scope as well as the spirit for a positive competition in order to succeed in the challenges of life. This can't be done just by sitting in the classroom inside the four walls of the classes. We have to surpass that. This is done by CC activities in a well manner. In the 21st century, when the world is fast racing, we have to compete with the world with different skills. We have to have skills that are different from others, just other than the academics as well. As said by my opponent, that in case of the CC activities, people put CC activities ahead of studies. But this can't be the case. Even though they are making a mistake, CC activities gives us the chance to make mistakes and learn from them. It's not just about succeeding in life. Every time we have to fail sometimes in order to learn something more. So that's an important point that is done by CC activities. One of my opponents mentioned Mahatma Gandhi in his speech, but I have to say that Mahatma Gandhi was always the follower that you should learn more skills than just jotting down notes. He himself did his all work so that he can say that you should learn more skills. This is a funny thing to mention in his speech when he is opposing the motion or CCA activities are important. As today's world, parents think that their child just focus on the studies only. They want their child to be the Arjun who should only focus on the bird side, that is study, not to focus on anywhere else. But I have to say that in order to focus on the studies, we have to have mental, physical stability, memory, confidence, as well as creativity. We have to have creativity in the future jobs. As said by APJ Abdul Kalam, that in order to succeed in life, you have to have creativity, and this can be developed in the primary sector. It can't be denied that creativity is the key to success. As teamwork, which is most important, is developed here. One of my opponents said that teamwork, that tight spot can always make you learn things. But if we learn the skill in beforehand, we will not be in that tight spot because the skill that we needed is already in us. So I want to conclude by saying, although we just need oxygen, water, and food to survive, but we also need family, moral values, as well as education to make that life meaningful. CC activities provides us that moral value, that extra bit of indulgence. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Pranjal. We witnessed, ladies and gentlemen, witnessed an excellent presentation by these 5 teams, each one trying to prove themselves better. The teams that spoke against the motion did brilliantly well. Well, now we still have another round to decide which the best team is going to be. We're going to have the rebuttal round. I'll just run through the rules for you. Each team will get a chance to ask 2 questions and answer 2 questions. Number 1, your questions will be asked in the same sequence that you have spoken in, but you can randomly ask a team. You can ask a team for an answer. So that can be random, but mind you, only 2 questions can be asked in for a team. You cannot exceed that 2. The moment you 2 teams ask the same team 2 questions, I hope I'm not confusing you. I will be sounding an alarm over here telling you that that team has exceeded their answering chance. So you will have to choose another team. Is it clear, children? Hope it's clear and hope I have not confused you. So questioning, all of you will get an opportunity to question and all of you will get an opportunity to answer, and I as a moderator will be overseeing that. So shall we begin, or do you need a minute's time to drink a sip of water? Yes, go ahead. Please drink a sip of water, and in a minute's time, let's come back and let's look at your rebuttal skills.
Well, I'm going to tell you something else over here. We're going to start the clock the moment you give your answer. And students that are going to pose the question, please make it a short question. Don't make it a huge statement. Okay, give short pointing questions and your timing will begin the moment you begin your answer.
If you would stand up while
Asking your questions, that would be appreciable.
To ask both the questions at the same time, or means like
No, you needn't ask both the questions at the same time. Remember, there's a sequence over here. So based on the sequence, one after the other. And there is no necessity that only one child or both of you have to give the answer. Remember, it's a team competition. So either of you can give the answer and either of you can ask the question. So the marks will be awarded team-wise, not individual student-wise. Yes, there's some other doubt? Can you use the mic, please?
We have to name the school to which we are asking the questions.
Yes, your question should be pointed at a particular school. It needn't be a student, school. So either of them, one of them can stand up and give the answer.
As our chief guest for the day is leaving, we just want to show our token of love to him. So I request Kamlesh Kumar sir and CNS Raghavan sir to come on to the dais, please.
I am extremely sorry. I have to go and attend next meeting at hospital. Otherwise, I would have been obliged to listen so great talks and energetic minds. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Being so busy, sir has given his precious time to us. We are very thankful to him. And now back to Amulya madam.
Thank you, Rebecca ma'am. Children, shall we begin? Are you all ready? Set? Okay, get set, go. Team Kakripar, first question.
My question is to Rawatbhata number 4. Gandhiji was the one who led all Indians together from different places in freedom struggle, and that requires participation, and the same is taught by co-curricular activities to us, and the same Gandhiji wanted. So what is your opinion? How do you justify your own contradicting opinion? Thank you.
Can you stand up and answer? You'd like to sit down? You can. We're going to start the time. We're going to start the clock. So within 1 minute, you have to present your answer.
You said that Gandhiji, people followed Gandhiji because a lot of participation skills were with him. So at the time of Gandhiji, there was no CCA at all present. And if Gandhiji would have focused more on CCA, he wouldn't have become such a great personality. Why all the people followed Gandhiji? It was just because he was such an educated lawyer. He had won a lot of cases in London, and he was an esteemed lawyer. So it would be better that we focus more on our education rather than CCA.
Well, we move on to question number 2 from Kakripar.
My question is to the same team, Rawatbhata 4. My worthy opponents say that soft skills and other things that CCA teach us can be learned from outside. Fine, very well, we can survive just on the basis of house, basic food, and water. Why would we want a luxurious life? And you say necessity is the mother of invention. But isn't precaution better than cure? Wouldn't you want to learn these things from early on so that you can succeed in your career at early age rather than learning it after doing the whole schooling?
Okay, so let's take an example that happened a few days ago. I'll take that example to answer your question. Just like I said in my speech, a football match was organized by a school as a part of the CCA, okay? And actually, students took leave from their tuitions and coaching centers just because they wanted to attend those things. So students, at this age, we prefer the glamorous life of CCA over things like studies. So we can learn these things from the outside because students are willing to play games outside. They are willing to acquire many things. They are learning music at home, they are learning dance at home, they are attending tuitions and all. But education is something that school provides you more. There's a more scope of learning things from school. So I guess that's why school needs to focus more on education
than these things, because these things we can acquire from outside. And our parents will also help us in that, because I guess all the parents are educated enough to do that. So
Well, so ACS for Rawatbhata has answered 2 questions. No other team will be posing them questions. So they've completed their answering sessions too, and you've completed your questioning. We move on to the next team, Team 3, Rawatbhata School 3, your question.
My question is for Team Indore. You again and again talked about Shreya Ghoshal. She is among those 1% student who are already bright and shining. So even if there are no CCA, she will be able to do it well. But what about 99% students who are not bright? They are not able to manage CCA with studies. What about those children?
Well, CC is for them to discover their talents hidden. And I feel like every one of us is bright in some other way. You need to think positive and be optimistic rather than just being like she was a bright student or something and she was able to manage and you won't be able to manage. It's not so. It's CCA that teaches you it. And you just need to focus yourself on CCA and studies and manage it all. And there only you can just learn it experientially and improvise yourself. And that's how you need to find yourself, something that's hidden within you. And CCA would definitely give a good opportunity for that. So I hope that I was able to quench your thirst with that.
My question is for Team Narora.
Just a minute, please, for the benefit of the judges. So that is question number 2 coming up from Team ACS 3, Rawatbhata. Yes. Yes. Number 3, Rawatbhata, you can start your question.
My question is for Team Narora. As you supported the motion, you must be knowing 3 domains of the development. I think CCA may help in social motive, that is in social development. So what about those 2 domains? How CCA help in those 2 domains?
Want some time, but we eat into your answering time. Like we had it with ACS 4. Clock is ticking, children.
Not just in social development of a child, but also for the development of mental sake only. If we take example of reading or extracurricular activity like singing or dancing, it also helps in the mental development of a child, not just in the social development. It is seen when a child takes 2 or 3 activities like studying apart, the child has a better chance in developing, as he or she gets a better chance to explore the places of his ability.
Hope you're convinced. We move on to the third group, ACS Indore. It's your turn to ask a question.
I would like to ask my question to ACS 3 Rawatbhata. It is that you emphasize that co-curricular activities are not important in school, but why are universities and other institutes, they are emphasizing on co-curricular activities? Why are they encouraging this when according to you it is not worth it?
So as I already said that the intention of CCAs are good. They are meant for good. But the problem is...
So you agree that they are meant for good?
Yes, they are meant for good. But the point is, are they helping? No, because a child is not able to devote a sufficient amount of time there. Because the studies, he's not able to take sufficient pains to do perform well in the CCA. And that's why what happens is he gets demotivated if he doesn't finds his name in the winners list. Well, I'm not actually convinced with the answer, so better luck next time. Well, shifting to the next question.
Yeah,
Question to
so
the same team.
one second, please. So judges, please note, ACS Indore has finished one question. The second question from ACS Indore.
Yeah, the next question to the same team, ACS 3 Rawatbhata. My question to you is that the people there in the sitting there in the committee of national education policy are quite learned people, and they have researched on our minds and all the research report papers. And after doing all those researches, they have implemented this CCA activity for the children at school. Do you really feel like they have just mentioned it for nothing? Like overall development is something. Please emphasize the fact overall development. I feel you're lacking ideas or so. Is it? Yeah. Sorry, ma'am.
As the survey conducted by Pratham, 85% of schools doesn't conduct CCA activities, but still they have overall, but still their children they are studying, they have overall development.
I feel that's not overall development.
But but overall development is the domain development of three domains. From CCA activities, the psychomotor domain is not leading.
It is.
It doesn't.
It does.
Well, so, yes, ma'am. Yeah, please don't do that. Please don't go personal now, because this is not that kind of a parliamentary debate. This is a coordinated debate, right? Let's move on to the next question. So question ACS for Rawatbhata, you can ask your first question. You will have to choose from team Kakrpar and Narora, because Rawatbhata 3 has completed their chances. So yeah, so have you. So yes. You want to ask Indore? Indore, yeah, you can ask them one question.
You said that Shreya Ghoshal was one of the most, she is one of the most famous singer of India, and she has also made the school, our school's name very popular. But Parag Agarwal, who was the CEO of Twitter till last month, was also from our school. The co-founder of Vedantu, Pulkit Jain, is also from our school, and various other dignitaries and officers and doctors have studied from our school. With maybe most of our teachers would have taught in the past. So why are we focusing on just one or two people that they have done? They have these are one or other special talents. Why are we not focusing more on?
Keep your questions short.
Yeah, we can't. Why are we not focusing
So
more
I just
on?
got your question, I suppose. Let me answer it. Well, I just mentioned one example in my presentation time because I just got very little time to speak actually. I could have just mentioned numerous more examples other than Shreya Ghoshal, and I feel like just those people which you mentioned, I don't think that world would run on the hands of such people. There are many people required by society like entertainers and singers and doctors as well, but don't you believe like doctors also believe on musical therapy? And I believe that there's where the world needs our talent, and we need to discover our talent, and we need to prove ourselves. So I feel that you're convinced of that.
We go to the next question from ACS Rawatbhata. You have another chance to ask a question.
Yeah, my question is from ACS Kakrapa. Nowadays, since some students prefer CC over studies, as we can see, so there's less participation in CC activities, and teachers are actually pressurizing students into taking part in them, and that's why students are using that valuable time that they should be dedicating to their studies in the preparation of those things. So, how would you justify like nowadays that's not the point of CC is actually, but we are dedicating our time, and everyone's goals are different. So, yeah, okay, ma'am. So everyone's goal is different, and we need different things. We need some students need to just excel in their studies. So
Your question, please.
yeah, my question is that there's so much time wastage in these things. So how do you explain that it is like the overall development, because education doesn't come first, and I don't think it's come in that. So did you get my question?
So you said some people want to focus just on studies, right? And some people prefer CCA over it. For those people who prefer CCA over studies, it's not a time waste. You saying it, CCA is a time waste, is for people who focus on studies. And secondly, you said CCA is time waste, but sometimes when you were a child, you had to do things that you don't like maybe most of the children don't like eating fruits or vegetables, but it's good for their health. How can you close the doors for all the children thinking that, temporarily they don't like CC activities, so yeah, let's not make them participate in it. Sometimes that little push is required, and it's better for the child in overall development.
Actually, what I wanted
I
to
think that should do. She's answered your question. We move on to Team Narora. So it is your first question. And you can ask Kakrpar for the answer, but you both will be, yeah. Since we have only two teams that are against, you can ask one to Team School 3 and the other to Team School 4. So you will get an additional opportunity to answer. We have only two teams that are speaking against the motion. Yes.
Well, I would like to ask my question to Team 4. As it was said by you that the CC activities create financial pressures over the parents, right? What about in case of studies? For a person who is studying for clearing Z mains or NEET, what about that? It also creates financial pressure and creates inferiority complex. What about that?
Well, when the families are not so well to do, they need their children to take them out of that poverty line. So I think education, if they think that their child can excel in those areas, it's okay. But sometimes when they need to participate in events which require money, like when maybe they take part in dance and all, and they need money for the costumes, and children like to participate in dance, but they cannot. So I guess education is important. So that's why when parents put money in that, they put it willingly. However, in these things, they have to give money without where there's not so need. So
Move on to the second question from ACS Narora. Your second question, can you please ask team ACS 3 Rawatbhata?
Yes, sir. I want to ask, you said that in your school, CC activities are held and only 2 to 3% children get overall development. But I want to ask, how do you got this research paper that only 2 or 3 children got overall development in your CC activity of school?
Because overall development is something that is visible from person's personality, the way they talk, the way they behave in public. I hope you got it.
Question, because that will amount to question number 3 for you. We now are in a position where school Kakrpar has answered only once. So the teams that are speaking against the motion will get one chance each to ask a question to ACS Kakrpar and ACS Narora. So we begin with Rawatbhata 3, ACS 3. You have another question to ask either Kakrpar or ACS Narora. In that case, ACS4 Rawatbhata, are you ready with the question for either Narora or Kakrpar? I would request the judges if they could probably pose the students a question. Well, this will not be part of the rebuttal though. In the meantime, our students could get ready with their questions. No question. participants. Ma'am, not to the question that
My question is with Team Indore. Uh, as Team Indore has mentioned, Shreya Ghoshal, uh, she is a gem. She's a legend. But don't you think that we all are here under the umbrella of Department of Atomic Energy, which is itself a miracle of science and technology, and so many families, thousands of families are getting benefited, getting their bread and butter from the miracle of sciences technology. What do you think about it?
Well, we might not be knowing many of the singers right sitting in between us. And job is not here we are discussing about. We are discussing about the overall development of child. And I feel, ma'am, that it can be only achieved when we are involved in various activities. Like even there are various motor areas of brain which need to be activated or something like that. And I do agree to the fact that science is too important. I'm not agreeing like education is just a side matter, just focus on CCA or something. CCA itself has the name like co-curricular activity. It is something which has to be taken hand in hand with the curriculum. And that's why I am totally for the motion that co-curricular activities has to be encouraged in school at an early age.
Which is more important? What do you think?
I feel, am I supposed to answer that? If I supposed to answer that, then I think that it shouldn't be counted as a debate or something because we are here to talk about the overall
Marks will
development.
not be involved in this
Marks
question.
won't be involved.
In this
Then I
question,
suppose I
marks-
have an answer to it. Well, being a part of science and technology, I definitely believe that has a major role in turning the people's life. And so, if marks are not being counted for my answer, so answering to that, yes, science is very important, and just we need to just give the priority order in our mind, and CC actually teaches us that giving us the priority at what time we need to do what, and we can just arrange ourselves, our mind, our thoughts going on our mind, and even science does that.
I'd like to inform the audience on the days that this is not a debate between CCA versus science. So ma'am has purposely asked you a poignant question. Well, so that is it. This is not a debate against science versus CCA. That's fine. So are the teams ready? ACS 3, Rawatbhata or 4? Who's giving it? Who's asking the question? ACS 4, Rawatbhata, your question 2? You'll have to ask Narora or Kakrpar.
I'll be asking ACS Kakrapar. Well, as you said about the overall development, sometimes when you said we can inculcate those things when we are kids and we enjoy doing those things. Sometimes parents put unnecessary pressure on their kids because they want them to excel in every field.
Question, please.
My question is that what will you say about the unnecessary pressure that is being put on students just because they need to take part in the CC activities? So how does it help in the overall development when they are lagging behind in many things? So
Well, CCA gives us confidence, right? So it will give us confidence to explain our parents that the pressure they are providing is unnecessary.
Well, she's answered you, ACS 4, Rawatbhata. We move on to the next question. ACS 3, Rawatbhata, your question. You will have to ask your question to ACS Narora.
Many times, CCA, instead of boosting the confidence of the kids, it demotivates when they don't find their name in the winners list. How do you justify it?
Uh, you might have heard the sentence, there are always ups and downs in life. So if a child is getting that experience in school, what's the matter? If the child doesn't see his or her name on the board, then he might get demotivated at that moment, but will get the courage and the confidence to participate next time.
That gives you your answer. And with this, we come to the end of the rebuttal round. Before moving on, I would like to add that the founding father of the Department of Atomic Energy, Homi Jahangir Bhabhaji, himself was a great lover of art. He went to concerts and listened to music. A visit to the TIFR will tell us that he was a great collector of art. Not just that, he would also paint himself. Number one. Einstein was very good in playing the violin. And you have our own ex-president, APJ Abdul Kalam ji, who was a very famous scientist, but he was a Vainik. He played the veena. So you can never separate the 64 arts from an individual. The debate here is whether we use CCA in school or not. So that can never, you can, in fact, it's an indispensable part of our life. Arts and we are all completely merged together. You can never remove them. It's like the yin and the yang. They are all merged. So for this, the debate says, do we need CCA in our school? Well, it's a very poignant question. Reason being, you have these factories and we live in and around Kota. So Kota is known for these factories where students are subjected to heavy doses of academics. They are pulled away from these activities that give them a lot of relaxation. So that is the basic aim of having this debate. Are co-curriculars important in the all-round development of a child? In fact, Mahatma Gandhi's statement is there that co-curriculars are very important in the all-round development of a child, probably because he was not exposed to these kinds of activities. Well, anyway, with this, we come to the rebuttal round and the debate of the seniors. I humbly request the judges to kindly consolidate their sheets and hand it over to the organizers so that quickly we'll come to know who those 4 teams are who are going to go into the nationals and be flying to Mumbai. Well, in conclusion, I would say you've done brilliantly, children. I was extremely impressed by most of you. You've done very well. And some of you were speaking off the cuff. I think Team Narora, if I'm not wrong, it is Pranjal. Pranjal was speaking off the cuff. Her arguments directly, her presentation included arguments from your speeches. So that is very heartening and it's very encouraging to the teachers too. Yes, we can have an applause for Pranjal because once we learn to speak well, this is what we do. This is probably what the parliamentarians do in the parliament too. They speak off the cuff. They do come ready with questions, but you should be able to speak off the cuff. Anyway, the presentation round is for you to present your views on the topic. Very well done, children. Seniors are always good debaters. So let us wait and let us hope that the result will be out soon. Before that, if there's somebody who wants to speak on anything else, the floor is open. I also would like the audience over here to come forward. Anybody who would like to speak? Raghavan, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir. Sir, Kamlesh Kumar, sir, we would hope that you two would speak next.
So just wanted to express my views. See, when we are talking about CCA, it's what we have to think about is the underlying motives, the underlying reasons which actually motivate a student to participate in CCA. So we'll have to go into the root causes. I think what really matters are the values which actually act as a stimulus for participation in CCA activities. Today we have this dog-eat-dog world, and then we have this cutthroat competition. And even normally we would imagine that group activities would be really contributing to the imbibing of soft skills. But if the underlying reasons are not sound, I think rather than solving the problem, it will be aggravating the problem, right? The underlying reason should be to develop a holistic personality, to ensure that you become an emotionally balanced person. But if you're going to be thinking about winning at all costs, then I think since the means are corrupted, the ends are not going to be sound, right? The ends are also going to be corrupted. And then you can just think about it from this point of view. You have a team which has a lot of world-class players like, say, Lionel Messi, Ronaldo. But if they have massive egos, so it is not, if they have massive egos, then it doesn't follow that that particular team is going to be winning. So they'll be busy tripping each other's feet. That another team which might have not necessarily superstars, but who gel very well with each other, that other team is going to end up the winner, right? So it can sometimes happen that the total is less than the sum of the parts. So this can happen if you have a team full of superstars, but they do not know how to manage their egos. On the other hand, you have a team which gels very well, and then the individual players have learned how to subordinate their egos in the larger interest of the team. Then you could have a situation that this team topples a team which has superstars in their team. And you can even look at it from the point of view of the recently concluded T20 World Cup. And for a long time, we have had this kind of a criticism against the Indian team. This goes back into the 1960s and 70s, that the Indian team has superstars and the Indian batsmen are only obsessed with their own averages. And you had Virat Kohli consuming a lot of balls, and you had others also who were consuming a lot of balls. And you had a player like Surya Kumar Yadav, who's obviously a very versatile player. But then in a crunch situation, he found that there were not too many balls for him to play with. So the tension got to him. So it is very important to always look at it from the point of view of the team. And this is where we have to go into the underlying causes, and if the underlying stimulus and the underlying reasons are not sound, I think CCA in itself, even if it be group activities, it is not going to be promoting the larger end. So this is what I wanted to make. Thank you.
I request Dr. Kamlesh Kumar sir, sir, could you also kindly express your views?
Principal is 2, Principal is 3, learned members of jury, participants, teachers, and all the students present here. As I'm using this podium, I am in favor of CCA. I believe that this helps a lot in the all-round development of students. For the sake of debate, the students, they have different ideas, but I know they all are here because of CCA. They had got confidence to come here. It is because of CCA. So CCA is useful for all the students in shaping up their personalities. They get confidence, and that confidence boosts them to learn other subjects also equally well. As a participant from Kakarat part team also, she mentioned that they get confidence. It's really correct. As a principal, I have experienced this. The students who are good at CCA, they are always good at studies also. That means the confidence they get from CCA, that helps them to study well their main subjects also. Before coming to Rawatbhata, I worked in ACS 1 Tarapur, ACS 3 Tarapur, ACS 1 Hyderabad, and ACS in Rawapahar. I met so many students, parents who were in favor of CCA. In ACS 1 Hyderabad, I was about for 3 years, and there from Hyderabad, many of the students, they go abroad. And I experienced the students who were going abroad, US or some other country to pursue their education. They were coming to me to take a certificate of CCA, that they had participated in these activities, sports and CCA, and that certificates, those certificates were very, very helpful to them in getting admission in the courses in universities of United States. So many of them, they came for these certificates when they were going to appear for some interview for the jobs. Even here in Rawatbhata, 3 months back, one student who has done IIT, cleared IIT, after that he has been selected for admission in IIM Ahmedabad. He also came to me that, sir, I want the certificates. I want a certificate from you that I have participated in this CSE activity and sports activities. That will be helpful, and that has been asked by the IIM Ahmedabad. So, for sure, nobody should have any doubt, CCA is helpful in shaping up the personality of children. They enjoy. One more example I want to give, I have so many examples, children. You must have heard, you must have read, people who are millennials, people sitting on very high positions, IPS, IAS, engineers, doctors, even businessmen, I already told you, millennials. They commit suicide. People say that money is very important, position is very important. They have position, an IPS officer, an IAS officer. They have very high position, they can enjoy everything. A millionaire in America, in our country, has a lot of money. He or she can enjoy anything, but they commit suicide because their development is not all round. They gain bookish knowledge, perform better in examinations, competitive examinations, and get job, but they are unable to manage with their job and their personal life. So it is very important to lead a balanced life. CCA is very, very important for everyone. This is what I want to say. And all children who are present there, please participate in CCA. And you will realize that how important, how useful it is for you. All of you should participate whenever you get a chance. As so many people were telling that you don't know at what activity you can perform better. I have experienced one activity, not in CCA, this is from other life. I never knew. I was sent from my school, from Uttar Pradesh Sainik School, to take training in NCC. As an NCC officer, I was undergoing training. I never took part in CCA and sports in my school. Only on one occasion, I delivered a speech on Nehruji on Children's Day. That too, on my own, nobody told me. I was appreciated. Apart from that, I had no time to participate, and my school did not have all these facilities. So when I was undergoing this NCC training, those trainers, they used to make us do so many activities before, during training. Sometimes they would make us jump also. So in that one activity, I never knew when jumping, one place. That is what this was done to warm our bodies. And among all the troop of 100 people, I used to jump in excellent manner. Nobody was able to jump like me. So they used to call me, my number was 30. 30 numbers up, please come and show this troop. How you can jump in one place. So I never knew this, that I am good this activity. They used to give punishment or something like that, or for warming up. They made me jump and they realized I was doing wonderfully this activity. So I have experienced this. I never knew before that I can do this something, which is very good. Nobody else can do in my troop. So when you participate in any activity, you sometimes perform in excellent manner, which you do not know. So you must participate, children. And that will give you confidence. I was not good at running. I was not good at anything. I was average, a little average. But in this activity, jumping, I was best among the troop. This is applicable to everyone and to every activity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your insights. Thank you indeed. Joshi, sir, could you please express your views? The result is still in the making.
Good afternoon. As Madam mentioned about the quota factory, I personally seen the condition of the children who left school at an early age, and because such they don't accept the failure so easily. When you are taking part in the CCA, you are getting chances. One activity, second activity, third activities, you may get some prize, you will not get some prize in another activity, but you know how to accept the failures. But when you are only focusing on academics, and there is only one chance, pass or fail, some children, they could not cope up with that failure. That is the biggest disadvantage of only focusing on academics. So every year we hear so many bad news, sad news that somebody has hanged himself or herself there. So there I feel co-curricular activities give you a chance to accept the failure and the success, and it is a part and parcel of life. Every time you will not get success. It is universal fact that life is full of ups and downs. So I'm in the favor, at the same time, in this world where we got so many people, limited number of jobs, limited number of seats in the colleges, there is a competition, cutthroat competition, where you have to focus more on academics. If you feel that CCA is killing your time, only thing is you should know the time management. If you have the time management, you can take part in any kind of activities. Don't put so much of time in those activities where it's still just like academics. Quiz is one activity in which if you take part, it will allow your brain to develop. So it's not that academics are there to kill your time or CCA is there to kill your time. You have to learn the time management. And if you learn time management, you can enjoy both academics as well as CCA. Thank you so much.
Absolutely agree with you, sir. Thank you very much. The saddest part is a debate literally divides you into two. But this is only a debate. After that, everything is fine. So this is only a debate. Even the participants on the days must remember that. Don't take your against topics so seriously. Don't take your for topics so seriously. The debate has ended. For the sake of the debate, you put up so many arguments, and that ends it. So let us see. And it always happens that the children, the team that picks the against part, they have a little difficulty. Let's see how the judges have judged it, because even the teams speaking against the motion have done well. So you don't know. Sometimes surprises are probably the against team might be a winner. We really don't know. I haven't looked at any judgment sheet. So, but this particular topic, as a moderator, I would say that getting the against topic was a little difficult one, but both the teams have done well. You've tried your best to present your facts. And as one of you was saying, this itself was a part of CCA. So you wouldn't be here without that. So that is it. Anyway, children, I think it's all ready. Let me just find out whether we are ready for the results. Hold on. We come to, yes, yes. With this, we come to the end of the debate. I hand over the mic to Mrs. Rebecca Sridhar for the further proceedings, ma'am.